Some places are so terrifying even science taps out. Researchers showed up with cameras, tools, and logic, but what they found made them run. These are the 10 paranormal hotspots scientists tried to investigate and left. The Hoya Baku Forest, Romania. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, the Hoya Baku Forest is infamous for its bizarre energy and paranormal occurrences. In the 1960s, a military technician named Emil Barnia photographed what appeared to be a disc-shaped UFO hovering over the trees. Years later, scientists from around the world attempted to study the forest's unusual electromagnetic fields, including Romanian biologist Alexandru Sift. He documented light anomalies and unexplained shadows. Some visitors report time distortions and memory loss after walking through certain sections. Multiple teams brought electromagnetic sensors only to have equipment fail without explanation. One team from a university in 2013 reportedly abandoned their fieldwork after members began experiencing spontaneous nausea, unexplained burns, and overwhelming dread. Even seasoned skeptics were left shaken. Despite its serene appearance, no consistent scientific explanation has emerged for the forest's eerie phenomena, and many researchers refuse to return. Skinwalker Ranch, Utah, USA. Skinwalker Ranch has earned a reputation as one of the most bizarre places on Earth. The site allegedly hosts UFO sightings, cattle mutilations, and shape-shifting creatures rooted in Navajo folklore. When billionaire Robert Bigelow purchased the ranch in 1996, he funded the National Institute for Discovery Science, or NIDS, to conduct formal investigations. Scientists employed night vision cameras, electromagnetic sensors, and other high-end tools, but their results were inconclusive and terrifying. Multiple researchers claimed to have witnessed or experienced phenomena that they couldn't explain, voices without sources, sudden temperature drops, and entities that interfered with their minds. One physicist reportedly quit after a strange invisible force left him physically ill. Even the Pentagon funded a secret program called the AAWSAP, connected to the ranch's research. Still, scientists left more confused than when they arrived, and the mysteries remain as intense as ever, and now many simply refuse to go near the property again. The Aokigahara Forest in Japan. While the Aokigahara Forest is often associated with tragic stories, it's also the site of a deeply unsettling paranormal activity that drew the attention of Japanese scientists and psychologists alike. In the early 2000s, researchers tried to debunk the forest's haunted reputation by studying magnetic anomalies reported by hikers. However, they encountered more than faulty compasses. Teams reported sudden electronic malfunctions, eerie whispers with no source, and disorienting hallucinations. In some cases, researchers became inexplicably separated despite GPS tracking and radio contact. One expedition leader wrote in a journal that he saw a shadowy figure mimicking his movements from behind the trees, and swore it was not human. Multiple scientific groups have since attempted fieldwork, only to leave prematurely, shaken by what they experienced. Today, most scientific studies in the region avoid the dense forest entirely, focusing instead on its perimeter. The Dyatlov Pass, Russia. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died under mysterious circumstances in the Ural Mountains. Their bodies were found with brutal injuries, including one with a crushed skull and another missing her tongue, but with no signs of struggle or external trauma. In the 2000s, Russian and international scientists attempted to recreate the conditions using modern technology. Some hypothesized infrasound-induced panic, others suspected military involvement. But field researchers reported disturbing effects, malfunctioning equipment, missing time, and intense feelings of being watched. A team in 2012 abruptly ended their expedition after hearing strange mechanical noises echoing through the mountain, which didn't register on any of the recording devices. Despite modern advancements, that pass continues to repel and mystify researchers who dare to look too closely. The Black Mountain, Queensland, Australia. Known to Indigenous Australians as Kalkajaka, or the Place of the Spear, Black Mountain is feared as a cursed place where people and animals vanish. Made of jagged black granite boulders, the mountain emits strange hissing and rumbling sounds. In the 1990s, Australian geologists tried to explore the labyrinth caves beneath the mountain to study its unique formation. Within hours, communication devices stopped working, compasses spun uncontrollably, and crew members became nauseated. One scientist reported hearing whispering voices and seeing figures darting between rocks, even though he was alone. Locals have long warned that the mountain is protected by spirits, and the area is now avoided by both the public and researchers. Most scientific expeditions to Black Mountain have been cut short, and the caves remain largely unexplored due to the overwhelming sense of danger that pushes even rational minds to retreat. The Belmez faces Spain. In 1971, strange human-like faces began appearing on the concrete floor of Maria Gomez Camara's home in Belmez de la Moraleda. The images would fade, reappear, and even shift expressions. When the phenomenon gained attention, paranormal investigators, chemists, and photographers arrived to debunk it, and failed. In 1990, a team from the Spanish Ministry of Interior used forensic chemical analysis but found no trace of paint, dye, or manipulation. The images seemed embedded within the concrete itself. Psychologists noted a rise in anxiety among the investigators, and several abruptly ended their studies due to unshakable feelings of being watched. One team member claimed to hear whispers at night in an otherwise empty room. Attempts to remove and replace the floor only led to new faces forming. Eventually, scientific interest faded, not due to a solution, but because no one could explain what was happening, and no one wanted to stay longer than necessary. Poveglia Island, Italy. Poveglia Island in the Venetian lagoon has a grim past, a quarantine zone during plagues and later a psychiatric hospital. When the Italian government opened it for academic study in the late 20th century, historians and medical researchers arrived to document its history, but they weren't prepared for what came next. Teams reported sudden equipment failure, oppressive air quality, and inexplicable cold spots in sealed rooms. One researcher claimed to see ghostly figures in long plague doctor robes walking the shoreline at night. Others reported hearing screams echoing through the old asylum. Psychological disturbances plagued the team, including severe nightmares and one member reportedly fleeing in the middle of the night, refusing to ever return. The government quietly shut down research access. Since then, Poveglia has been effectively abandoned by both scientists and tourists alike, cementing its place as one of the most haunted and scientifically rejected places in Europe. The Bhangarh Fort in India. The Bhangarh Fort, located in Rajasthan, is considered to be the most haunted place in India, so much so that even the Archaeological Survey of India has placed warnings to visitors not to enter after sunset. In the early 2000s, a team of architectural historians attempted to study the ruins in depth, but their work was interrupted by increasingly bizarre events. Members reported sightings of robed figures vanishing behind walls, mysterious writings appearing in their notes, and unexplainable injuries. Electronic devices drained without reason, and some team members experienced vivid dreams of the fort collapsing. One scientist abruptly quit the project after suffering what she described as a total emotional breakdown while inside the main temple. Despite the area's historical importance, most scientific groups have shifted to studying Bhangarh from afar, using drones and satellite imagery rather than setting foot on the cursed soil. The Houska Castle, Czech Republic. The Houska Castle was built in the 13th century, not to keep invaders out, but to seal something in. The location is believed to sit atop a gateway to hell. In recent decades, geologists and historians tried to understand the structure's unnatural orientation. The castle has no strategic value, no water source, and walls designed to keep something inside. During a 2002 expedition, scientific instruments failed repeatedly in one particular chamber sealed by thick stone slabs. Members of the team reported intense headaches, dizziness, and irrational panic. One researcher was reportedly hospitalized afterwards for hallucinations. Locals believe the area is haunted by demonic entities, and even skeptical scientists admitted the experience felt profoundly wrong. The castle's supposed bottomless pit beneath the chapel remains unprobed because no one is willing to descend into it, not even for science. The last team to try left after just one night. The Hessdalen Lights, Norway. For over 4 decades, the Hessdalen Valley in Norway has been home to one of the world's most persistent unexplained phenomena, glowing lights that dart, hover, and pulse in the sky. Unlike most paranormal occurrences, these lights have been studied extensively by scientists. In the 1980s, the Hessdalen Project set up a permanent observatory to study the phenomenon. At first, researchers thought they'd uncover a natural explanation, maybe plasma or atmospheric gases. But the more they studied, the stranger things got. Instruments would pick up radiation spikes, cameras would malfunction, and the lights would seem to react to observation. In one bizarre instance, a beam of light was recorded projecting from the sky into Earth without any known origin. Despite years of monitoring, no conclusive answer has emerged. Some scientists continue from afar, but most who visited in person say the valley has a presence, something sentient. Many have walked away with more questions than they arrived with, and refuse to return. But that's it. Let me know which one of these you guys found most interesting or creepy, and leave a like and a comment, and be sure to subscribe because you won't want to miss what's next. Thanks again.